like the thing I tell you, Pep system is more like a factory line. You have
Mhm.
a certain way he wants you to play.
Do you know what I feel like
So
the
and
problem is with
that
Pep?
system sometimes reduces the flair, reduces the natural talent. It takes away so many things. See Gadio, I don't feel he's improved because
My
of the
problem
system.
is Pep
Savinho,
keeps
the same thing,
keeps
right?
throwing money at the
Grealish,
problem. The issue at the core is the system itself is flawed
the
at the
system now
core.
is flawed, yeah,
It's
because
flawed.
yeah,
The tactics itself is flawed at the core. So no matter
yeah,
what players you bring in,
yeah,
I really don't think things will change that much. But I guess it's a waiting game. We'll have to wait and see, right? Depending on how much
yeah,
time they give Pep to
yeah.
fix this system. Because you can't tell me that you bring these really talented players into a team where
Mm.
individual brilliance is not celebrated at the core, right?
No,
Play the way I want you to play. And if you don't play that way, leave my team.
leave my team.
I
That's
think
always the
the era
case.
of thinking that way is over.
Is over. Actually, it's over. It's over.
Welcome back to Football Kings. It's really crazy how the mighty are falling. Man City is in shambles. What's going on?
Oh my
PSG
god,
defeating Man City
can't
after
believe
a
it.
2-0 lead.
I can't believe it. It's
Wow.
just so
This
unbelievable.
is not the first time that Man City have been leading and then end up either drawing a game or even
Yeah.
losing the game.
In fact,
What's
in
going
fact,
on?
in fact, the stats from the Champions League is weird. The stats from the Premier League is weird. In the Premier League, I think they've thrown away 14 points from winning positions. In
Wow.
the Champions League, they've thrown away 8 points from winning positions.
Wow.
Right? So it's just crazy. It's
This
crazy.
is this is crazy.
With
Something definitely is not working. And Pep, I don't know. Is it the tactics? Is it the players?
we've
What is
we've
going on?
we've talked about Pep on and off. Every the whole world talking about Pep. We're tired. Everybody is seeing it. You, the owner of you want to play a certain way. You die
Mm,
by that system. You live by
mhm.
the sword. You die
You
by the
die by
sword.
the sword.
That's what's happening to Pep now. You live
Yeah,
by the sword. You die
you
by the
die by
sword.
the sword.
If you don't want
Exactly.
to change to gun, you die by that same sword. So there's no
Yeah.
advice I will
Pep
give.
needs all the
Yeah,
ammunition he can now to
yeah,
save
yeah.
the team. But can we now finally say the Pep system is over?
Yeah, we can say yes, partially. Um,
You can say
it's
partially,
kind,
or why not? Oh,
it's
it's over, it's done.
it's kind of complicated because we don't know if he can fix it.
What I feel like you're struggling with with accepting it. Like you're like partially, it
Yes,
can't.
I think it's a
Why
problem
you
of
not? Why you
acceptance.
not being direct? What's not giving you confidence?
Why I'm not confident because we've seen this guy being so good,
Yes.
right? But
Hmm.
at the same time, everything that has a start must have an end.
Yes.
Ferguson had a start, he had an
Yeah.
end. His era
Yeah.
came to an end.
So Pep
He
should.
left, he
Hmm.
retired. I mean,
Hmm.
Ferguson, he retired,
Yeah.
right? Everything that has a beginning must have an end.
Yeah.
So the thing is, whether it comes naturally, you decide to resign or end
Hmm.
your time. I
Yeah.
think he's even losing interest. I feel like he's losing interest in football generally. I might be
Hmm.
wrong.
The passion
It
is
could,
not there, but
it
he has
could,
won
it could be,
everything, right?
it could be family issues,
He's won everything. So.
right? You
Mhm.
heard about the story, him divorcing his wife and all of that. So it could be that mentally he's not there.
Mhm.
You
He needs
see
to reset.
his last press conference. His one eyes is bigger than one. He has scratches on his face. So you really don't know. It's kind of, I don't know if he's, you can talk of mental health issue too. So
Yeah.
it's just so complex. That's why I'm not quick to say, oh, this system is over. Do
Mm.
you get? But at the same time, if the owner of the system is not mentally or is not, doesn't
Is
know how to fix it, maybe the
yeah.
system is over, right? So that's
Well,
it.
let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. So,
Yeah.
why possibly is this system over? Let's dive into the first point on in this. So, I was saying self doubt from Pep. You've already touched on this a little bit about how there's a lot of like self doubt. Are we saying
Yeah.
self doubt around the tactics because there are just sometimes so many changes he's making, so many players
Yeah.
he's playing out of position,
Yeah.
tactically wise, doesn't make
Yeah.
sense given the strengths of the players. Like Guardiola is a terrible left back. I I'm sorry to say, he's just not good at it.
He's
At
doing
this
his best.
point, it's been tried, it's been tested, it's been proven. He
But
sucks
he's
in
doing
left back
he's
position.
doing his best. But at the same time, I think why, in terms of self doubt, you will notice, you notice it in his press conference. I don't know if you notice.
Mm.
Like, the initial thing was like the Pep we know is
Mm-hmm.
extremely confident. He loses a game and be like, next game we'll fix the issue, we'll
Yeah,
come
it
back to
happens. It
win.
happens. It's football. It
Right? It
happens.
happens
Yeah.
in football. We'll move on. Next
Yeah.
game we'll go there and we'll win.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's turned into a case of maybe. The pre Okay, let's track back to PSG. That's the
Mm-hmm.
last game they played, right?
Yeah.
Track back to PSG. His pre-match conference said, "Oh, in the Champions League, they asked him what does he think of this game and the next game in Champions."
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Oh, we just need to win one to qualify."
Yeah.
Like, bro, you're going into a match against PSG. The way you are sounding like you are defeated.
It's sounding scared.
How do you want the players to sound if
They feel a
you are
bit,
sound,
yeah.
yeah, you are sounding defeated already?
Mm-hmm.
So this is not the level Pep operates at.
Yes.
He operates at a level where first half his team is trash.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, you see that what he said in the dressing room made a difference.
Yes. Like the
Now
team at
they
halftime, they look
Yes, now
feel different.
they come back from second half. They play maybe 5 minutes well, 10 minutes well, and
Yeah.
all goes to shambles. You
Yes.
see the changes he makes. We don't know if it's the right changes,
Yeah.
right? I watched
Yeah.
the PSG game and I
Mhm.
saw Savinho
Yeah.
really good on the wings, taking on his man, busting in 1v1, winning those situations. Had a go at the keeper several times, right?
Yeah.
And what does Pep do? He takes him off. I'm like, why are you taking this guy off? Like, it makes no sense. Like, what's happening here? Took him off
Uh
for Grealish. Okay, I said,
but
okay,
Grealish scored.
maybe,
Grealish
wait,
scored,
wait,
right?
wait. Okay, wait. Let's track back. Maybe he wanted more control of the game.
Okay.
He wants control.
Mm-hmm.
First half, they could have gone behind. They were lucky in
Yeah.
the first half. They should have been 2-0 behind,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even with the goal cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. He removes Ruben Diaz. He
Mm-hmm.
claims Ruben Diaz told him he wasn't feeling so well.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to play second half. So
Yeah.
it's two things. It's either in the dressing room during the discussion, Ruben Diaz. I'm just trying to put myself in that dressing room. I'm trying to think
No,
out
take
what
give your
happened,
take. Give your take. Give your take.
right? So maybe in the dressing room, what
Mm.
Pep said, Ruben Diaz didn't like it. I'm like, I'm not playing. Like, take me off. I don't feel good.
Yeah, could be, could not be. I
Yeah.
mean, we can't tell, right? Maybe Ruben Dias truly wasn't doing it because why would Pep remove a good? Ruben Dias is like one of his most solid center backs, right? Why
So
will
the
he
question is,
remove his most solid center
if
back?
he removed Ruben Diaz during that
Mm.
game, right? It means that he shouldn't play in their next game, which is against Chelsea.
Ah, well, he could get better over the
He
week,
could bear
right?
better in 2 days.
He could get better in some days, and he's back.
So there are 1,000 reasons why we
But
can go
sometimes
on,
you remove a center back because you want to change the shape of the team. You want to you
change
know
the shape and put Guardiola in the middle.
Guardiola is quite flexible. Even Stones came on, right? Because Stones they play very inverted roles. Yeah, strike Guardiola playing very inverted roles, maybe to make
Yeah,
the game more dynamic. Pep will always try Pep things, but that self doubt is definitely there. It's definitely
yeah,
there for sure.
yeah,
Like you can
yeah.
see the cracks. Even Pep doesn't believe in the team as much. But let's dive into the next reason. What's the next reason? Too many missing pieces, too many missing pieces or too many key missing pieces because it seems like it might not necessarily just me like players are missing, but certain key players that might make this system work, they are missing. Because we all remember we had a video on this about Rodri
Yeah,
not being in the
yeah,
team
yeah,
and how this is going to affect City and their game because Rodri is the guy that does the cleanup. Is the guy
yeah,
that helps in the transition and is the reason why they won Champions League. Is the guy that scores the important goals. Who scores the
yeah,
important goals now? Right? Who is doing the cleanup work? Who is doing
yeah.
the dirty job? You can't trust Kovacic, right? It's crazy because
Kovacic is a midfield cockroach. He does what he's meant to do, but he's not built for that.
The pieces are yeah.
It's not
Key
built
missing
for that,
pieces. What do you
right?
think? Key missing people or just in general missing pieces? Give your take. What's your take?
I think put up the let's go back to the PSG game. Let's use I
Mm-hmm.
just want to use it as a reference because I
Yeah.
can't there's so many games. Okay. In that match, he uses Nunes as a right back.
Mm-hmm.
Kai Walker, he wants to sell Kai Walker. I think
Yeah.
he's tired of Kai Walker. I
Yeah.
heard he had an argument with Kai Walker in the dressing room. Maybe he wants to get rid of him.
Mm.
That
Any
could
it's
be it.
possible, right?
For four
It's Pep.
million. I'm like, why do you want to sell Kai Walker for 4 million?
It's Pep.
Kai,
It's Pep.
Kai Walker is better than Nunes in right back. That's one thing. That's one. Secondly, you have Gadio. You bought since Gadio came to Manchester City. I don't feel he's improved.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was extremely excellent before he came.
Yeah.
Right? You started. I know it's hard for him to bench Ruben Diaz, Akanji,
Yeah.
John Stones, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you why don't you give him a try there?
Give who a try.
Gadio is a center back. You keep playing him
Okay.
as a left back. Now, when you keep switching him, you put him as center back. It feels like he forgets what to do.
Yeah.
You see him like you see him. The fourth goal in PSG's game was his fault,
Mm-hmm.
and it just feels like the way he plays as if he's long he played as a center back.
Yeah. Because it's been yeah.
That's the vibe I get from him, right? You talk about in the midfield, you talk about Rodri missing. Who is the four? You're using Kovacic as the four,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, Kovacic is not built as a four. He can try, but he's not
Mm-hmm.
really a four. So I've talked about three missing pieces already
Yes.
in that game, right? You had Rico Lewis on the bench, who is a
Mm-hmm.
natural, I think he's a left back
Mm-hmm.
or a right back. I'm not sure which, but I think he's a left back. Who you could have used,
Mm-hmm.
right? He was
Mm-hmm.
on the bench. Why? We don't know. Let's
Mm-hmm.
move on. You don't have a four, you don't have a six.
Yes.
He uses a six, right? Good. You now use Bernardo Silva in your midfield. You use Bernardo Silva, you use Kovacic,
You
you
have
use
Gundogan.
you have De Bruyne. No,
De
Gundogan came
Bruyne.
on.
Yeah.
You have De
Gundogan came on.
Bruyne,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
You have Savinho busting forward, and you have Phil Foden busting forward.
Mm-hmm.
Who is doing the defending?
4-5-1. So the expectation is Bernardo Silva,
You're
Kovacic.
practically leaving all the work for Kovacic to do.
And sometimes Bernardo Silva, right? Because he's dynamic sometimes. Not the best, you know.
I saw Bernardo Silva in the box when what's his name? I remember his name now. Dembele.
Yeah.
Dembele came against two people in the box. I think it was wait. He came against Rico Lewis
Ah, yeah.
and Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
You saw the and
I saw it. Yeah.
what did he do? Nutmeg
Nutmeg
in the
Bernardo Silva.
box.
Yeah.
In the box.
Yeah.
It just shows that his defending is very low.
Dembele surprises me sometimes, you know. I don't know what came over him in that game, but he sure was trying to prove a point. He came in ready to prove a point in that game, but hey, it's crazy.
And you have there's their left back for the left back for PSG kept on busting, doing those some kind of crazy runs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name now.
Are you talking about Nuno
Bakola.
Mendes?
No,
Oh,
Bakola.
Bakola, the
Bakola
left
was
wing. Yeah.
yes. Second half, it feels like when Man City scored that 2-0,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like he saw the lights and he just went at Nunes.
He
He
scored, right? He had a goal.
Yes,
He
he
did
kept
well.
he
He did
kept
very
going
well.
at Nunes. Like I was just like, oh my god, this is going to be a shit show. Can you take Nunes off? He took Nunes off and brought in John Stones. I was like, bro. Akonji was not the one playing that side.
So what's the problem with these missing pieces? Who is missing? Who is missing?
So there's potentially in that. I'm just using PSG game as a reference, right?
Yeah.
You have somebody that is not natural as a right back. You have somebody
Mm-hmm.
that is not natural as a left back. You have
Yes.
your six not being there.
Mm-hmm.
You have makeshift defenders, but let's leave that. You now have your number 10,
Mm-hmm.
De Bruyne, that doesn't have the legs to run.
So De Bruyne should go to Saudi in the summer.
At this point, he should just go and get the bag. Get his Ghana must go. Sorry to use that word, or his traveling bag. Go and get the bag in Saudi. Forget about this trying to win trophies, bro. You've won everything. Leave the Premier League.
It's about time.
He doesn't have the leg. Like he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have. It's so obvious when PSG are going at Man City. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have the leg,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
And you
So.
can't blame you can't blame him. He's 34.
Mm-hmm.
I remember clearly when, in fact, let's not just say the Pep system era is coming to an end. This Manchester City era in itself
Mm-hmm.
it has ended,
Yeah.
because this set now they've peaked and they are going down. They're on the decline.
But
You
this
see,
happens with every
with
super
every
team,
with
right?
every team it happened. It happened
It
with
happens, right?
Manchester United so many times
Yeah.
when Sir Alex had to rebuild the team, refresh it. It happened
Yeah.
with Chelsea so many times with them Drogba's
Mm-hmm.
and Lampard. Their time came to an end. Mikel. It happened with Liverpool,
Mm-hmm.
right? We can go
Yeah.
on. It happened with Arsenal, the Invincibles. What happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
it happens, but the issue I have is that you see the amount of talent
Mm-hmm.
Pep Guardiola has allowed to go
Mm-hmm.
is enough to build a new team.
Yeah. The Cole Palmers, the Cancelos,
There
the
are so many of them. You have the guy
but
in
some of them
Ipswich
not
that's a
super solid
striker.
though. Yeah.
You have the guy in Ipswich that is a very good number 9.
Even Lavia was from the Man City Academy, right?
Lavia
So.
was from there. You had
Mhm.
this guy from Aston Villa. I've forgotten his name. He plays as a 10 too.
Mhm.
So many guys have left City. You could have used all these guys to complete all your pieces.
So basically, Pep going to go into the summer transfer window and find the missing pieces to fix the team.
Good. That's what I think, right?
And you think
That's
this will make the team better? You think this is not a tactics issue at the core?
I think first of all he's been found out.
Now we are
He's,
getting somewhere.
he's been he's been found out because even when he introduces new people, it's
Hmm.
going to take some time for them to.
To
That's why he's
click.
reluctant.
Are you telling me
That's
that Savinho is not a very good player? Guardiola is
Savi,
not very good.
Savinho is
Sometimes,
a very good player, but I've seen Savinho make mistakes.
like any player will make mistakes, but like Savinho is really talented.
He's really talented, but
Doku is talented.
like the thing I tell you, Pep system is more like a factory line. You have
Mhm.
a certain way he wants you to play.
Do you know what I feel like
So
my
and
problem is
that
with
that
Pep?
system sometimes reduces the flair, reduces the natural talent. It takes away so many things. See Gadio, I don't feel he's improved because
My
of the
problem
system.
is Pep
Savinho, the same thing,
keeps
right?
throwing money at the
Grealish,
problem.
same thing.
Pep keeps throwing money at the problem. The issue at the core is the system itself is flawed
The
at the
system now
core.
is flawed, yeah,
It's
because
flawed.
yeah,
The tactics itself is flawed at the core. So no matter
yeah,
what players you bring in,
yeah,
I really don't think things will change that much. But I guess we'll have to. It's a waiting game. We'll have to wait and see, right? Depending on how much
yeah,
time they give Pep to
yeah.
fix this system, because you can't tell me that when I heard the signings, Guardiola was coming to Man City, everybody was kind of like, "Oh, Guardiola is
Oh,
coming! Oh,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh my
yeah,
God, we're
yeah.
scared." Wait, Savinho, Doku, Pep is signing Doku. What the hell,
Even Doku too makes mistake.
right?
I've seen Doku
Or
making
you
so
bring
many
you
defensive
bring
mistakes.
these players into a somewhat of a very rigid system where it doesn't give space
See
for individual
Nunes,
individual brilliance, and
Nunes,
you
how good he
see,
was before.
yeah, yeah, Nunes. It
Yeah,
was when he was signed to City. I was like, wow, what a good signing. Pep has a good eye for talent, but you bring these really talented players into a team where
mm,
individual brilliance is not celebrated at the core, right?
no,
Play the way I want you to play, and if you don't play that way, leave my team.
leave my team.
I
That's
think
always the
the
case.
era of thinking that way is over.
Is over. Actually, it's over. It's over. And I think the,
Ah,
the
but
thing
yeah,
now
we
is
thought, yeah.
I think the thing now is that There's so many errors,
Mm-hmm.
right? So many players. That's the third point. There's so
Yeah,
many
too
players
many individual errors. Yeah.
making so many mistakes. It's just too much. Gajo
Yes.
is making mistake. Like his own is
Mm-hmm.
just too much. Nunes making mistake. We've
Mm-hmm.
seen it, gave out penalty. I've seen Doku make mistake that led to
Mm-hmm.
go. I've seen Edison make mistake. So when people, so many people are making so many mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
it means something. It could mean that you are not giving them. It could be that you are not giving them the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to be flexible and think for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to follow a hardline rule book,
Mm-hmm.
which sometimes is hard to follow 100%.
Yes.
Although over the years he's gotten it that way,
Mm-hmm.
right? But now you have younger players. These people are Gen X. I think these younger players they are Gen X, right?
Gen X, Gen Z.
Are they Gen Zs? Oh, they are Gen Zs.
Yeah, I say Gen X.
Sorry, my bad.
Gen
They are
Z.
they are Gen Zs, right? So Gen
Yeah.
Zs, come on. He formed it with the millennials.
Yes.
Which the millennials are very easy to mold. You tell them sit down here, they sit down here. Do A, they
Yeah,
do
dude.
A.
That's
Now, yeah,
actually a very good take.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
thinking about
yeah,
it, yeah,
yeah. So now
very good take.
it
Yeah.
could now be that you are
Mm-hmm.
trying to create a system that was molded in the millennial era. You're
Era.
trying
Mm-hmm.
of players that always listen to instruction, they know
Yeah.
what they are doing, A, B, C, D is follow to now Gen Z
Yes, and
who
Gen
are
Z
hard
have their own way
Gens
of
who
doing
want to
things.
have
Yeah.
their own way and everything, and it's what's happening on the pitch,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Yeah, I think
know.
it might need to be a bit dynamic. Anyways, we have the game coming up, Chelsea, Man City.
Yeah.
Let's do let's do a preview of the game. Let's dive into it. What are we thinking of that game coming up? Um,
Uh I'm thinking I don't see how Man City wins this one. It's difficult for me to say except Maresca goes there and just bottles it.
City has one win in total over Chelsea. So, but looking
Yeah.
at how they play now,
I think I
you
think
put your money
Chelsea
on
will get
Chelsea.
I think Chelsea will get something from that game.
Are you saying this as a Chelsea fan, or are you saying this as a critique in
No, as
general?
a I forget the Jesse and Wayne, as a neutral.
It's okay to talk as a
as,
fan. It's okay
as a
to say
neutral.
it's
Okay,
okay.
I'm not a neutral actually. So,
You're
but
not
no, no,
neutral in this case.
I'm not
Obviously, you
neutral.
want your team to
Yeah,
win.
but at
Your
the
team has
same
been
time,
playing well.
no, no. But if
Mm-hmm.
my team is not my team, obviously one win in 6 games, not like their Saints,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've watched Manchester City collapse. I watched it against PSG. I've watched other game. I'm like, no, I don't see how Chelsea don't get at least a point. They need a point
From
from
this
City,
game. So
basically.
either you're either a win or draw in favor of Chelsea.
That's what I think will happen.
Okay. For me, I think I am on that as well. Like it's so
Yeah,
difficult for anybody to back Man City at this point. Like it's so
yeah.
surprising because there was a time where you score City and you're like, oh, they're going to score
Nah,
back.
yeah, yeah,
City is going to come back. They're going to win the game, and that's just what happens. But now
yeah.
City is leading the game, and you're like, ah,
Oh, stop.
I hope they get something out of this because they might actually get a draw or they could lose the game, right? Which has been
Yeah,
happening, which is
yeah.
sad. But what are your final thoughts on the Pep era, the Pep system era? Let's wrap this up.
Um, I think my final thought is a system that worked for millennial people players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that system would work with the Gen Zs.
Mm.
That's why I feel his system, the era is over totally. Right? He might just be even be done with football in
Yeah.
general. So he might need to find something new to work with Gen Z players.
Mhm.
That's my own final take. Yeah.
My take is not so far from yours. I think Pep keeps throwing money at a problem rather than actually sitting down to figure out the core problem. And that's the difference between Klopp and Pep, and why
Yeah.
people always say Klopp is a
Klopp is a
better
better coach
manager
than him.
than Pep. I
Yeah.
think Pep needs to go back and evaluate. He's smart. He brought a lot of innovative ways to think about the game, and I
Yeah.
think he has to look for ways to strengthen that defense and
Yeah.
think about the game in a way where Man City can be more compact and less vulnerable because they are very vulnerable on quick transitions. And I think when he starts making what he currently has play well and
Yeah.
make the system a bit more dynamic where individual brilliance can be celebrated in the team, then I
Yeah.
feel like with the crazy amount of talents that he has right now, things will improve and City will get back to their winning ways for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, if you got to this point in the video, thank you for watching to
Thank you
this
for
point. We
watching. Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're about to give our controversial take in football currently. So we start with you, Andy. What's your most
No,
controversial?
you start. You
I
you
just
first.
start. Okay,
You
okay.
first.
Let me start.
Yeah.
My most controversial take in football is that the new signing to Man City, Mamouche,
Mm,
I think that given Pep's current system, we will not see him shine as
yeah.
he might, usually shine from where he's coming from. I think the Pep system that we currently have, if it doesn't change, is known to just damage players in general. Reduce their light and fit them into a box that sometimes it's not good enough. Like we see Jack Grealish and how he was this crazy player and comes to City and now is basically average. And this has happened with other players as well. And we've seen players from City leave to other teams and shine. That's my one of my controversial takes.
Uh I'll say my own controversial take would be I don't see this time has made me not. I'll say putting Pep as one of, like, people rate Pep as the
Hmm.
best coach in the world.
Yeah.
I won't say he's the best, right? I'll put forth Ancelotti before him
Mm.
as a better coach. I'll put Ferguson before him. There are so many coaches now put before him because those coaches have been able to evolve. They kept on evolving over time, solving bigger issues that they had. This is the first time he's having an issue and he can't solve it. So how is he the best? That's my own take. So
Wow. Cool.
yeah,
Thank you for watching Football Kings. Make
yeah,
sure you subscribe, like this video, share this video, comment
yep,
your thoughts, and
yep.
hey, we'll catch you guys in the next
And
episode,
next
man.
one, yeah.
See you.